Right. Okay. Now, yeah, hello again. I'm trying to add Mr. President. Let's see if this works now. I'm just waiting for the line link to build up. Hopefully, there will be a viewership. I'm just trying to add him. It's we all know it's a network issue. I just need to fix this quickly. I'm hoping that that works. I'm hoping that this throws it off, because sometimes it will just do that, and there's not a lot you can do about it. Let's have a look at this. Come on. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. I'm waiting. Yeah, okay. I'm waiting for the president to come. I'm hoping that it will work. Morning, Olatoye Agbola. Morning to you. Just bear with me. Bear with me. I'm hoping the president will join us. The network is the problem. Okay. I can see somebody else. I'm hoping that it works. Let's see. Okay, hold on. I can see two people. I'm waiting for the president. He will just tell us about the marathon running, and I will then ask a question about when he's going to declare, because I know a lot of people are asking that question. And we need to be with our president, and we will work with him. Okay, that's fine. Olatoye, yeah, looking forward to hearing from you. I'm just waiting for Mr. President to join us. The network is a problem. As you cannot imagine, the network is a problem. And it's probably one of the things we will have to look at and fix. I can't see Mr. President. The network is just, it's mad. It's incredible what's happening, but it doesn't matter. We will do what we can. We will carry on doing what we can. I'm just trying to, let me just put a message. I'm trying to invite Mr. President back. I see him as Mr. President. He will be our next president. I can only see one person on my invite list. I've got 6, 7 people here. What's happening to my network? What's happening to my internet? I should be able to see Mr. President. I'm trying to invite him, but it's not letting me do it. Okay, you know what, Olatoye, I'm going to quickly do something. Let me add you to see if that works. I'll add you, just if that works. And just say a quick hello. Then I'll take you off, and I want to see if I can see Mr. President. Are you also talking? Good morning, Olatoye.
Yeah, good morning, sir. I'm fine, sir.
Good. Listen, I just wanted to...
Okay.
Good. I just wanted to just check if the network is fine. It seems to be fine.
Yeah,
on my end.
It's okay. Yeah. I think maybe the location the Mr. President is in Barcelona, I think.
That's correct. That's the problem.
Yeah.
So we will talk behind screen afterwards about the plan that we have.
Yes, yeah, the plan is on that. Yeah.
Yes. So to try and organize Mr. President in that area and dates and things. We will talk about that.
Yeah.
In detail.
Okay, sir.
So, but listen, for now, I will. We will talk later. Yeah.
No problem, sir.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you, sir.
Bye. Okay. Right. Okay. Let's have a look. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm trying to see, as you can see, I'm trying to build up the picture again. Mr. President, I'm trying to invite you, but I think your network is a problem over there, because I've just invited somebody on now, and he was able to talk to me. So it might be the network in Barcelona. But it doesn't matter. Either way, we're fine. The message that Mr. President was telling all of us was that they are having a meeting, a June 12th a reunion at Abiola's address in Lagos. So please share that message. You will see that message. We see that message. You will see that message on my first post. And it's pinned to the top. Oh, good. Fantastic. He's here. I'm going to add him right now. So our next president, Mr. President Omoyele Sowore, and he's about to join us. I give you our next president come February 16, 2019. Our next president. So he's joining us. Yeah, hello, Mr. President. Yes, the link went dead. You were talking about how you started doing marathon running. Could you?
Yeah. So I took this guy, picked him up, and he was tired, and I was asking him in the car. He could barely talk. I said, "Why would you do this to yourself? Why are you running? Why are you running marathons? I usually would exercise, but never thought that I could do a marathon. So he said, why don't you try it since you are someone who likes to go on the extreme of everything? Maybe a marathon will be something that is good for you, so that you can have great health, and it's good for your heart, it's good for your status, it's good for everything. It's a way to push yourself harder than you usually push yourself now. So I went with it. Went out with him for the first run, 2013. His name is Dayo Adegoke. He's now relocated to Nigeria. A great friend of mine, his family friend, my wife's family friend. My wife's family. And so we went out and we did 3 miles. I was tired. I pushed a little bit and I was like, I don't have to do this. Nobody sent me. So he encouraged me to go on, the next day we went out again and discovered that for you to actually do long distance running, you have to be consistent for a while. And for the first time I did the Philly Marathon, I think it was November 2013, and finished, because when people ask you, have you ever finished a marathon? I mean, have you ever won a marathon? The person who actually wins a marathon is the person who finishes a marathon.
Yes.
So I did it, and the following year I did Miami. The following year I did Philly again. I did one upstate New York, and I did Lagos. Lagos was very, very intense because the weather was very hot.
Yes.
I think I've done Miami twice. I've done Philly twice. And I did New York last year. I've done Atlantic City Marathon. So about 8 marathons underneath my belt is where we are now. It was as if somehow somebody was preparing me for this moment. Because people would ask me these days, where do you get the stamina to keep going? When you do marathons, you actually get stamina. So you learn how to be resilient, how to keep going. A marathon help you build a lot of energy in your brain as well, because after a while, when you're running a marathon, your body would no longer be able to carry you. You just have to use your brain at that point to keep encouraging little parts of the body, the pieces to be moving around. So that's how I started. And for the first time after next year, we will, I intend to participate in Lagos Marathon next year coming up. And I also would love to partake in the Berlin Marathon because I love to go to Berlin. And several other marathons. As president, I want every Nigerian city, and it will be my own way of bringing back sports into the curriculum of our educational system. Don't forget, I'm also a swimmer. I actually was part of the University of Lagos swimming club or team that was supposed to go to Nuga in 1992. But that same year I was expelled from the university because I was against Babangida. So they yanked me off the swimming team. So I'm a swimmer. I grew up beside a lake. And you guys know my history of being a fisherman. So I know I have a good grasp of sports. And like I said, every city in Nigeria would have its own marathon underneath on our government. I've done a lot of 3Ks, 5Ks. I've done 15Ks. I've done very intense marathons, and while in Lagos and during this race, we plan a number of races as well. It's coming up, so be on the lookout for it. It's going to be Take It Back race or a bunch of races where we encourage people to exercise. You can either walk or run, whichever way it is. We have to have several ways of moving the pieces in our desire to take back Nigeria. But sports is key for me. Sports is key. I remember in those days we used to have inter-house sports. We no longer have those good things anymore. It is the way, there's nothing that can unite people in Nigeria more than sports. Look at it, Nigerians don't even have teams, they don't have clubs. They have to adopt international teams. We went to the stadium yesterday to see where FC Barcelona plays. They call them Barca here, but in Nigeria they call them Barca. And I bought a jersey from there, nice jersey. And I know that the Real Madrid team members are upset with me. I intend to see if I can go to the other side of town today. When I come to London, maybe I'll go see Man U and you know, and the other team that loses, but their members never depart them. You know, I like their spirit. Is
Yeah.
that where's the one in the UK that they lose a lot?
So
But huh?
Arsenal.
Oh yes, Arsenal, man. I love Arsenal. Arsenal supporters. They're rugged people.
I'm sorry. We'll carry on. Yes.
Arsenal supporters are going to be like APC supporters after this election. You know?
Yeah, they will be. They will be.
Arsenal supporters, I'm just joking. Don't come after me. I know you don't like APC.
Okay.
Really, seriously. But yeah, so that's you know. But you know, long distance running is very powerful. I would say in some regards, I think it has a spiritual connotation, you know,
Yeah.
because it lets you reach deep inside your mind, inside your brain, and it lets you use your brain more than 10% when you're running.
Yes.
And what a better way to use the brain and the body, and you know, you burn fats. Your heart is better because you know you have better flow of blood and oxygen. Not everybody can do it. I'm not going to force people to run long distance, but just to know that the race we are running now is a long distance race too, but we'll win.
Exactly. No,
Yeah.
I like. I myself, as you know, I have a disease myself. I'm following a car crash. So what I do swimming. So like yourself, I do swimming and hydrotherapy 3 days a week. So
Yes.
sport for me is a key. Without the
Yes.
sport, probably wouldn't be upstanding at.
Yeah.
So I pretty much will, and I'm looking forward to your future other plans about how to continue to make Nigerians active.
Yeah, we need to get active. A lot of young people in Nigeria, and you notice that when people are eating, you know,
Mm-hmm.
if you're eating and you're sweating through your hair, you better be careful.
Mm-hmm.
Probably that's not a good thing most of the time, especially if you're a little bit heavy set. A lot of people have, you know, their heart is not in the right place when it comes to health.
Yes.
And not their fault is because they don't exercise. Exercise is very key for you to. That's why a lot of people are dropping dead because of heart attack. Because they don't exercise, they don't do much to. They just eat and you don't lose those calories.
Yeah.
They form themselves into uh, cholesterols, you know, fat, and they go block your veins and arteries. The best way to get rid of them is to be active. You know, I was just on the other side at the park. I wanted to show to you, but my connection there was weak. You
Yes.
would have seen a lot of 60-year-old, 70-year-old Spanish men and women walking around. You got to keep being on. And our parents lived longer because they were farmers.
Exactly.
They walked long distances to farms. They carried stuff. They exercise. Farming is a form of exercise. That's why we got to bring agriculture back too.
Yeah.
Because that will help a lot of people go out there, stretch. Have physical contact with the sun. Sun gives you vitamin D. When you don't have it, it affects your health. There's a lot of things that are there that are good for us. If only we can get the leadership right, that will make so that's why health is part of our priority. Bring back health, but physical health is something. I mean, physical exercises will improve our health a lot. When Dio encouraged me to be running, he
Mm-hmm.
said to me, you might have a good health insurance, but the best health insurance you can get is to run marathon. And since I've been running marathon, I've not been falling sick as frequently as I would do. Typically, I will have flu in the U.S. every year, but I haven't had flu in a while.
See?
Yes.
So fantastic benefit. Now,
Yes.
question here that somebody was asking, and I know you've been asked this question a lot of times, but
Yes.
please, the question is, they want to know when you will declare the party.
Yes. Actually, we were planning to declare soon, but as you know, we have other alternatives out there, and we're exploring them. Like we said, we want to form a coalition, and a coalition takes time to form. There's
Yeah.
nothing to worry about. We will be on the ballot. We just want to do it in a grand way. We want to do it in a big way. We're doing very well. We are the biggest movement in Nigeria today. And when you have a movement that is functioning, that is well respected, that is agile, mobile, and daring, you can't have a problem getting a party. Parties are vehicles for winning elections. They are not necessarily the most cohesive ways of fashioning out ways to save a country. A movement, in our case, in our view, is a better alternative, and that's why we are building a movement and we're not looking back. The party will come. We'll declare a party. Other candidates don't have parties. Honestly, they might be members of political parties but they are not candidates yet.
Yeah.
So we will have a party soon. Please keep supporting us, keep following us, follow the movement track. The reason why we chose a movement over a political party affiliation is that we want to have a movement whose agenda cannot be tampered with when we join a political party. As most people know, most political parties are out there have already formed their characteristics. Some of them belong to the PDP and APC.
Yes.
We need to be very careful not to just rush to join a party and you find out that during the convention they scheme you out. The government is also looking to infiltrate parties that we plan to join. So just to be on the safe side, we're taking our time. We have very intelligent people we're working with on the ground, physically, who are all over the place. We have organizers who, whatever party we join, we will be the ones running the party in the interest of our agenda. We'll be the ones doing the work for the party. So nothing to worry about. Please, we urge you not to worry. Give us a little bit more time. Maybe I'll say give us another 2 or 3 weeks, maximum end of June, we should have something for you. That's the plan. Yes.
Now, you mentioned something about healthcare there earlier on, whereby you said when you were talking about marathon running, you mentioned something about healthcare. I wonder if you could give us your ideas going forward around health for Nigerians, particularly pensioners and people who are, who got illness and pregnant women, those kind of things.
Yeah. Our healthcare policy will be totally dependent on access to healthcare. And access to healthcare means that there are doctors who are available to attend to people, that we have emergency health services available for people who are directly in distress, and that we have funding available to make sure that people who are accessing these healthcare services are there. Have some form of payment made by government to make sure that nobody is denied healthcare. It will be healthcare for all under the plan that we have, and we also plan to attract some of our best people who have gone away to come back.
Awesome.
Yes. Some of our best doctors who have gone. Some of them are already actually willing to come back, but they don't have the conditions are just not objective enough for them to come back. But we'll bring them back. We want a situation where no Nigerian will go to India ever to go and seek for medical care. There's there's no reason why that should be happening. So, and it's part of the reason why we want to deploy 160,000 healthcare workers first and foremost upon coming to office, trained to go out there to every village, every town, and be available within the precinct of cities to take care of people who might need care right away. We want to have mobile clinics, and when we say mobile clinics, it doesn't have to be vehicles. It can be they can be motorbikes, they can be canoes, boats that can go out there. We want to collaborate with a lot of international agencies who rather also take their healthcare services to Ghana because Nigeria is very hostile or friendly to those kind of partnerships to be able to come here. We want to pay our doctors properly and resolve the disparities within the health sector. There's some unhealthy rivalry going on between a lot of unions within the health sector. We want to go in there and resolve these issues so that our people don't suffer unnecessarily. Doctors don't go on strike, and we bring out our best brains. We want to go from brain drain to brain gain within the health sector. Yes. So, but we have to make the necessary investment. We have to trust the leadership. We have to have capable hands managing our health sector. A lot of the health ministers these days, they don't even know what they're doing. They're only after travels and conferences and symposium around the world that don't have any impact on what we need at home. And we want to also equip our our university teaching hospitals. If there are universities that don't have teaching hospitals now, we must make sure they have them. And the ones that have them, make sure that they actually provide the services that they ought to be providing to society.
Okay.
You know, I know about the University of Lagos teaching. Lutz, that's Lagos University Teaching Hospital. It's a shambles. It's in shambles. It's a shadow of its former self. Several other ones are not just in good shape because people are embezzling funds that are meant for developing these platforms for increasing and improving our healthcare system. So, like I said, access is going to be our number one priority for health. You know, we're taking back our health sector for good.
Yeah. Somebody just something about it said, please, sir, one area that you don't talk about are the area of that airport and maritime especially. Huge sums of money are being made and nothing to show. What is your plan?
I'm aware of this. I'm aware of how much we make from IATA. Or is it IATA? They call it all of, that person is right. But these are monies that have been made. These are monies that have been made under the table. So they steal them because we don't have a government in place that is capable of monitoring every kobo we make. We must put that in place. It's not just enough to say, well, we have a central place and a central accounting system where we put money. We must make sure there's no exception. None of the federal government agencies have exception not to put money within the central accounts of the country. Buhari did it when he started, but the corrupt cabal around him, and because of his incompetence, have been able to circumvent them. They have granted exceptions to a number of maritime agencies, and the corruption that we thought had gone, had come back full force. You know very well that one of the most prominent stories I did under Sahara Reporters, or we did under Sahara Reporters, was in the aviation sector. So we understand the aviation sector very well, very well. You know, the Stella Odoa BMW scandal that led to her being fired. So we know the aviation sector very well. We know the maritime sector very well. How I know maritime sector is that sector is actually where I was born. You know, I was born in the region where there's a lot of maritime activities going on. We also know that we don't have enough ports and we need to develop new ports so that nobody will be queuing up at Lagos for days just to take out, containers out of our ports or to take out fuel. And there's a lot of crazy things going on in Nigeria that we can fix. It's just unbelievable. There's a guy we met who came to see me in Lagos, very brilliant Nigerian, and he's a consultant to the federal government, and he came on his own volition to meet with us, and he said, I know how well this country can work if only we have a Nigerian president that is not weak, that is not corrupt, and that is not compromised. And I've come to see you because I know where the money is. He was telling me that if we do what is right, if you have a president who doesn't compromise, who is not scared of anybody, so if you do what is right, 100,000 naira for minimum wage will look like a child play. So, you can double that in a year. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Awesome. Somebody's asking here, and it might be a touch personal. They said somebody just asked about Olusebuka Damian Obioha. He said someone just asked about the role of Sowore's wife. I don't quite understand how that fits into things. I suppose they're talking about the first lady role. Is that something that
I answered that yesterday? That we should worry about how every Nigerian wife is important as well, not the president's wife. We have been serving the wife of presidents for years now. It hasn't taken us anywhere. Yes, I have a wife. She's great. She'll be happy to join us. I mean, she's working on this in her own way. But as to these characteristics of my life and her life, we're not going to be pushing ourselves out there in the faces of Nigerians as if we are the most important things in the country. Every woman will be Nigeria's first lady. Every man will be Nigeria's first man. Sowore is going to become the personal assistant of Nigeria, not the president whose life is what everybody must worship. So, the first ladies in Nigeria have done a lot of damage to our treasury. And my wife is not ready to go and steal from anybody. She's willing to help Nigeria. She's willing to do whatever is necessary, but in her own way, we all have to move in a different direction that is not all about Sowore's wife. You know,
Yes.
it has to be about everybody's wife.
Exactly.
You know, we want everybody to be able to put food on their table. You know, not everybody paying eye service to the first lady as we do in Nigeria. We have to take
Exactly.
our country back even from these first ladies. We know what they're
Absolutely.
doing in the States. We know what they
Yes.
do at the federal government level. We know what Babangida's wife did with Better Life
Yes.
for, yes.
Another question somebody asked here. What is your take on border protection and immigration?
Border protection is going to be a priority for us. We would have to improve security around our borders. I know the borders very well because I used to travel through the border to evade being arrested by the Nigerian government. So I know all the loopholes around our borders. Our main problem is the corruption at our borders is
Yes.
unbelievable. If you
Oh
have
my.
officers who are willing to do their job, you know, you have 10 borders, and we'll make sure that happens. But most importantly, within the West African region, we need a united West Africa. Uh, you know, I'm actually more interested in the borderless but economically viable West African region. Or when I
Yes.
won't say borderless as in no borders at all. You can imagine that to get between Lagos and Benin Republics, it takes almost 3 hours.
Wow.
You know, this shouldn't be the case. You should just
No,
have, you know, you pay a token and you drive through to the
that's
next
it.
country. You know, obtain the papers online. You are supposed to have automated. You are supposed to have done all the automation of how to travel between two countries. And the moment you
Exactly.
put highways between two countries, you put train railway lines between two countries, you remove
Mm.
people who are desperate to go through the rather burdensome and hard border systems that we have now. It's the
Mm-hmm.
borders we have now, regardless of what immigration people are doing, doesn't prevent criminals from entering Nigeria. It doesn't prevent goods and services that are illegal from entering Nigeria. The way to get over them is to automate our borders and make sure that the trailers that want to come to Nigeria are registered as they're coming in. You give them passes. The Nigerian who wants to go to Ghana will just get a pass somewhere in Lagos. In West Africa, I mean, a ECOWAS office that is highly automated and with electronic gadgets all the way. And you pass through. And we
Mm-hmm.
take whatever we need to take from you, we take from there. You show your passports, you know. Look, in the next 5 or 10 years, nobody's going to be carrying passport with pages around anymore. Our passports will be on our handheld devices, secure passports. And this is
That's
why you
it.
need digital leadership in the country, and the West African region, and by extension, Africa, is in need of this type of leadership so that the African continent can become a united space,
Fantastic.
united by technology. And we
Yes.
can have economic development like we've never had before. We can stop all the wars and bickerings because the moment we are all one, you know, nobody will allow another person to make life miserable for the others. And we have the resources in Africa to
Yeah.
service Africa. You know, we can get electricity from Congo, oil
Mm.
from Nigeria, Angola to service the entire African continent. And Africa will look better than Europe. I'm telling you. Because
Fantastic.
Europe is looking like this because of Africa or in spite of Africa.
That's it. Um, Another question I wanted to ask is: you talked about solar power and electricity yesterday. When
Yes.
at the meeting, I wonder how. The second part of the question is also tying that to Ajaokuta Steel Complex, because you need power for that, obviously. How talk more to us about how the mix of the usual electricity we will be using and solar power, how that can give us power in Nigeria in the shortest possible time.
So what I've discovered in the course of my investigation and research is that it doesn't take a lot to put together solar energy. For example, you can build 5 megawatts of electricity that's capable of powering a university in 90 days, having imported all the parts on time. We don't make those parts, which is sad. We have
Yeah.
on long term. We have to think about how the parts are also made in Nigeria. So if you want to do business with us, one of the things I will make compulsory for those solar energy companies that the parts must be produced in Nigeria. So that way they provide employment. So
Yes.
if we are going to do 4,500, we must produce most of it in Nigeria. Initially, we have to import. Importing means that we'll grant some waivers, at the beginning, as long as it's in the interest of the country to accelerate the importation of these goods and the services. But we ensure that people who are putting them together are Nigerians. They are trained by the people importing or the companies that are getting this. And that's why I said 2 million people are going to be employed just to provide 4,500 megawatts of electricity around the country. Another thing we need to do is to decentralize our electricity system such that people can have mini grids. And if you have mini grids in Ikoyi and all the Ikoyi people have enough solar panels to generate, why can't they have constant electricity without waiting for the federal government? That shouldn't be, the federal government should not be interested in how people develop on their own. And it's part of the restructuring I've been talking about. Restructuring is not just about resource allocation. It should be about innovation as well, where people can develop at their own space, grow their own food, grow their own electricity, share it amongst themselves there, be fine with it. Government comes in as a regulator, not as an ombudsman or as an barbarian, bureaucracy that destroys everything. You understand what I mean? So this electricity with 4,500, they have coal still in the east. 10% of U.S. electricity is generated from coal. We can do clean coal. Not a great fan of coal, like I'll tell you that, but we can still do it to get to where we need. And then we can have smaller dams, around cities, just like you have in Europe. You go to major European cities, they have dams that are supplying electricity locally. I think we were in Treviso, and they said, somebody told us that the guy that actually built the dam in Treviso made his money in Nigeria, a white guy. So you imagine, these are technologies they've sent to Nigeria, and the leaders have frustrated them, and they bring them back home. And technology has made it easy to do so many things these days. It's almost unconscionable and unpardonable that we keep waiting to get things done that are supposed to be done within a short period of time, but because of corruption, and bureaucracy, because our leaders are always asking what is in it for me, I'm going to be asking people, what can you do for us at the shortest, quickest? We don't have no time to waste. So we must hit the ground running. There is no time to wait for 6 months before you put a cabinet in place. Cabinet should come first week, if not today or swearing it, And if you have cabinet members within 6 months who are not doing their job, we are going to be firing people. 6 months. If you haven't delivered, we have deliverables. If you haven't delivered in 6 months as a minister, you have to find another job, maybe in a gas station. That's your problem. We won't have time. We have no time. We have no time. We have to hit the ground running, CitizenAY. And this is why I urge Nigerians not to be afraid. Don't ask questions about grassroots. There's no grassroots that is more than young people. We are the grassroots of the country.
That's it.
The market woman that is the grassroots, they are not more intelligent than you. Go to them and say, this is our candidate. This is the future. Explain it to them, Teach them how to vote for this, Tell them what is in it. And if you're abroad, tell your parents, the people you send money to, say, look, if you don't want me to stop sending money to you because it's a burden, create a country that will make it possible for you to get simple health care. Simple things like food, get your pension paid on time digitally without having to queue up. This is a guy that's bringing technology into your life to resolve a lot of issues, small issues, even including telemedicine, AY. We have a lot of people who are willing to work to us that you can just make a phone call or send a text message to them, and they'll call you back and prescribe medicine for you or what to do. And they might be in the US, right? They might be in Europe, telemedicine. My doctor is based in the US. Well, now he's in Nigeria. Anytime I'm sick, I just call him. He'll say, describe the symptoms to me. I describe. He treats me over the phone. I don't have to go and queue up in his office. That way you can reach a lot more people. If I don't improve, he will ask me to go to the nearest place, go and do a blood test. I test the blood. I send him this thing by scanning it on WhatsApp. It tells me what next to do. You understand what I mean? There's just so many things that can be done within a short period of time without too much hassle. But you know what? Our leaders hate us. They hate the people of Nigeria and they hate the country. And most importantly, a lot of them don't understand. They don't get it. You understand? So please, let's keep pushing. There is no reason why we cannot win this election. We shouldn't win this election with less than 20 million votes. That's our target. We want to win this election by 20 million votes, right? And what is it? All those people that log on to Facebook every day, there are 20 million of us from Nigeria, not from outside now. Over 4 million Nigerians log on to, 40 million Nigerians log on to Facebook worldwide every day. 20 million of them are in Nigeria. And they keep complaining that, oh, we don't know how to do this. We don't know what to do. No, you know what to do. Just get up, do something, preach to the people that are not aware of this. We cannot afford to miss this opportunity to work together to make the country a great country. I am not going to be telling you that will make Nigeria a great country. I'm suspicious of the fact that Nigeria was never a great country. They've never been made as great as it should be. You understand? But we're about to see a Nigeria that is greatest, the one that is doing well in soccer, in entertainment, right? That's doing well in music, that has got roads, that's got water pumped into homes, that's got employment brimming left, right, and center, right? That's got schools that are working for you, right? I have seen it before. I know these things are possible, and they're not rocket science. And if it's rocket science, I keep telling people I'm a rocket scientist too.
Quick question. I want to touch on something. People are asking, what's the relationship between you, Mogalu, and Fela Adurotoye? Is there any future relationship between those three of you?
I'm glad that people keep asking about relationship between the young candidates, right? I have met Mogalu and I said he's a nice guy, decent guy, right? I've not met Durotoye. Durotoye seems to be a little slippery to meet with, We tried to interview him even before I started running. He kind of backed out of it because he said there was some reporting we did that he didn't like. I don't agree with that. Even if you don't like the way people report about you, that don't mean that you should not. But I think all of us, or all of them, have a right to their ambitions. We should not force them to work with us. We should encourage the spirit of competition. No. In the university where we started our politics from, sometimes there will be 20 candidates for the president of the student union. Over time, the boys will be separated from men. We debate. We're supposed to have a debate tomorrow in Lagos between myself. It's a June 12th debate between myself, Mogalu, Durotoye, and some other candidates. We should all be meeting and discussing. I've met Donald Duke. I met him in Abuja last week. Where we tangled a bit, and I discovered that there's no big deal about these guys. They don't even understand. They're just talking about unity. We need to do unity. Unity is the same old story, and they keep telling you that Nigeria is complex. And I ask me, what is complex about constructing a road? How is it that it's not complex for you to take money from your state and go and buy houses in Lagos? You bought the home of the chief judge of the federation, with the money that you took from the people of Cross River. But when it is time to govern Nigeria, you say it's complex to govern Nigeria. How is it that it's not complex? If Nigeria is complex, it will be the most complex place to steal from. If we are complex people, will be the most difficult people to steal from. The fact that they can steal from us with ease shows that we are not complex. It's not a complex country. Don't let them keep telling us lies that we are complex. We aren't complex at all.
We're not. I wanted to touch on another subject. Earlier on, you talked about the brain drain. Now, I know, for example, that in Scotland, in 2 or 3 of the universities, of every 5 students, 2 or 3 of them are Nigerians. And so many of the patents they made of the innovations that they made has been stolen by the Scottish or the students that left here.
Of course.
How are we going to address that? And how are we going to ensure that our universities in Nigeria have got research?
Hey, you've touched a very important topic right there. And that's the topic about what we are giving to the world and what the world is stealing from us. I had experience when I was at Columbia University. I was a student of one of the big professors there. And I did my, when I was doing my homework, when I was doing my kind of, it's not dissertation, it was a master's degree thing. It was a policy dialogue submission. They asked me to go and be reading some books. The book recommended to us was Midnight in Nigeria, This House Has Fallen. It was written by Karl Mayer. I did something unusual. I said to the professor, I said, I cannot quote Karl Mayer. Everything Karl Mayer wrote about happened on my back. It was June 12th, anti-SAP riot, the OPC crisis at that time. All I said, I'm just going to tell my story as it is. And I'm going to tell you how the Nigerian economy, he was going to Nigeria, he said, he didn't tell me he was going to Nigeria, but he said, if you want to go to Nigeria, who do you talk to? I wrote my homework assignment based upon that. A few years later, they wanted to go to Nigeria, invited us to meet with him and advise on what he should do in Nigeria. This entire visit to Nigeria was based on my paper that I wrote. That they said was not good enough because I didn't quote Karl Mayer, which I refused to do. So a lot of Nigerians are out there, brilliant ideas. They are stolen, but they are not stolen in the sense that the moment you are entering the school, you are also signing away your right to own all of those things. That's why we must develop our universities to keep our students there. You can't believe that Nigerian students are paying through their nose to go to universities in Benin Republic, in Ghana, in Togo.
Exactly.
It's unheard of. But that's where we are today. Because we are not a nation that is able to cope, to offer education to our youth. We can't. Nigeria is not able to do anything for anybody at this time. Nigeria is only servicing the greedy elite in the country. The ones that don't even believe in Nigeria, the ones who never have their kids in Nigeria, who will never send their children to Nigerian schools, who will never care about Nigeria. All right? Those are the people that Nigeria is servicing, the private jet people. We don't care about the ordinary people.
Yeah.
And it is time that we start to care about ordinary people. And that's what our movement is about. We are taking back the country and putting it on a path of growth, progress, and prosperity, sir. And mass.
Oh, fantastic. No, good. Another question asked, somebody asked a question here, Stanley Isaac Aribu. Can you be able to have all Nigerians info dental based in order to boost security? So it's talking about dental information whereby they use the teeth as a recognition. Is that something that you're looking into? Is that a good idea?
There's plenty of data out there already that if we can centralize them and harness them, Nigeria has got a solid database of its citizens already and non-citizens. And they do so through the banks. You can't open an account without somehow submitting what they call BVN. You can't have a BVN without your fingerprints. You have passports and then you have INEC. So there's a lot of ways that already we have captured data. The thing now we worry about is how to sieve the data, centralize them, and also secure Nigeria's data. Because right now the phone companies are doing what they like with the data, the banks are doing what they like with the data. I don't know what INEC is doing with data, but there's plenty of data. I don't think we need to go exactly there yet. And there are ways that are cheap to capture those kind of technologies these days. I mean, most of you who are looking into your iPhones have to use your eyes. You have to use your fingers. We are there already. We just have to capture the low-hanging fruits with regards to technology. The data we have in our system already, if they are properly harmonized and synced and sieved, we will have enough to start working with right away.
Okay. Somebody, earlier I talked about Ajaokuta Steel Complex. Somebody was saying it would be a good idea if you can meet Natasha Akpoti. That's from Samuel Dada.
I met Natasha Akpoti. We've invited her to be on this campaign, and she's indicated interest in coming with us. But we haven't seen her physically get involved yet. Ajaokuta has a very interesting background and story. It's not everything that you see that's Ajaokuta. And Ajaokuta is not exactly as big as they make all of us think. Ajaokuta is running on obsolete equipment.
Yes.
It's running on, I mean, this is a place that pretty much has failed. We have to really look at it and see if it is worth our time and investment, or if it is not even better to build a brand new one that is technologically upgraded and updated than to keep wasting our money and energy in a kind of project that I don't have enough background information to say that I will fully endorse Ajaokuta. But I can guarantee you that there's so much we can do with the place, and there's so much we can do with other places.
I mean, perhaps, in terms of Ajaokuta Steel Complex, what I was thinking was if it's obsolete, I'm sure bits of it can be taken apart and been reused in the area.
That's why we need to do an audit. Yeah. We don't even know what is left there anymore. They've been stealing and ripping the place apart and ripping it off. So I would say wait until we get into office. We'll do an audit first. The thing you're hearing about Ajaokuta, you might find out that it's totally different when you get there. You might just find a shell of a building or warehouses. Just probably that's what is left. You know how Nigerian officials are? They're thieves. They probably have stolen the place and not much is left. But here is what I'll say. Give us time. Let's get into office. Let's audit Ajaokuta. Let's audit other places. There's also Delta Steel Company in Warri, I think, in Alaja, near Warri. There's plenty of companies out there that can be revived. And there are new ways through which we can create new companies with limited resources, just by creating the objective conditions for those things to happen.
Okay. Somebody, Adegbenga Abiodun has a question here. What is going to happen to the current labor? We have to wait for 30 days to make a living. Would you review the labor laws?
What I just want to do with our labor laws is to make it easy for workers to get paid. We will introduce hourly work payment system as soon as we come in. We don't have to wait till the end of the month. I agree with the person. What they do in other parts of the world, it even makes it easy to hire a lot of people, because you can hire on an hourly basis, you can hire on a weekly basis, and we'll make sure that payment is made every 2 weeks. We don't have to wait till the end of the month. Yes, I agree. But what we need to do is to ensure that our labor laws are strong to protect our workers, like they have in South Africa at the minimum. You can't go into South Africa, create a company, and cheat and run away. You can ask the D-Day man when he tried it. It didn't work out well. You have to make deposit as a guarantee that if you leave abruptly, workers can get paid for at least 6 months after you leave. Those are laws that we'll have to put in place. And I know that a lot of companies don't like strong labor laws, but we just have to protect our workers like they do in other parts of the world.
Right. There is a question that I've noted of late. Particularly in the south of Nigeria, they've noticed that when people are queuing for the PVC, it's taking them hours and hours and hours. The process is being deliberately slowed down. What suggestions do you have for Nigerians to get around this and queue despite the problems?
We are going to figure it out, and we have people investigating that. Don't worry about that. If we find out that INEC is playing games, we'll expose them very quickly. The other part is to let you know that a lot of people have registered in the South. The South this time probably registered more than any part of Nigeria. So that could be part of the reason why these things are slow. But I don't want to give any excuses. I expect everybody that has done their PVCs, who've registered for it, to get it as soon as possible. We need them to have it in their possession so that we can roll these guys over. We can roll over them.
Okay. I'm just trying to see now. Oh no, they've already asked that question. Let me see. Housing. How would the model unit for housing in Nigeria be high-rise? High-rise is the model type in advanced countries, as seen in UK, France, and Barcelona. Bungalow can never solve the housing issue. It is foolishness and wastage of limited space. What are your thoughts on that?
We have to divide the housing thing into two. We have to think about rural housing and urban housing. Nigeria's housing policy has always been about urban housing. That's why high rises has been seen as the solution to it. But think about it. What if we start building houses in the rural areas, and they don't have to be high rises? With a story or two, you're good, and more people can live in those places. With increased technology, with electricity, not everybody want to live in the city. Uh, I think what we should do is to build more houses. We need 17 million units of housing. We should build houses based on a number of factors, and those factors include environmental factors. High rises are good in some places, but not a lot of nations or countries are building high rises everywhere. I personally don't like what I call concrete jungles, which high rises represent. I like space. So we have to build according to family needs. We have to build according to the needs of young people. So these things are already we figured it out. This model of housing is going to be determined by situational variables and geolocation.
Okay. Now I'm going to talk about infrastructure on two fronts: roads and rail. We know that road and rail would vastly improve our agricultural turnout, because currently what happens is do manage to grow stuff without if they're not being attacked by the Fulani herdsmen and all that, and they manage of what they grow rots in the ground. The remaining 50%, they lose 25% in the journey on the roads, or if they're lucky enough even to try and get anywhere near any rail. How can we address the rail and road issue to really help our productivity in Nigeria?
We said that we will make sure that all the major regions are connected by dual carriageway. That would vastly improve and facilitate integration between these two nations, around the country. Some of these are already being built. We just need to finish them up and make sure they have high standard. The rail system is also very, very important. We have a strong focus on rail because with improved technology around the world, train can move even faster than cars these days. I don't know if you saw a video on Facebook a few days ago. The Russian and the Chinese president were traveling inside the rail coach, and it was moving at 301 miles per hour. With 301 miles per hour, if you have a rail system like that between Lagos and Calabar, you are certain to get there in 3 hours, instead of 12 hours. The same thing will happen between Calabar and Maiduguri. We can do like a triangular rail system. We do Calabar, Maiduguri, then Maiduguri back to Lagos. And then we extend it into the West African region a bit. We are good. And then in between, you have, Abuja connecting Lagos. You have Abuja connecting Kano, Abuja connecting Port Harcourt, Abuja connecting Kaduna, and all those major cities where we have high population. Abuja connecting Onitsha, our economic nerve centers. So apart from that, we also have to invest in waterways. Now, water transportation is also key. We went and saw Cross River. They haven't dredged the place, but the contract had been given to a senator who apparently ran away with the money meant for dredging the place. We have networks of rivers that can also aid and help us with transporting goods, in particular services, within a short period of time. There's a lot within our system. We are blessed, AY. We're blessed. We've just been very, very unlucky to have wicked leaders and incompetent and corrupt. What is killing us is incompetence, lack of planning, and corruption. Somebody was asking that I'm explaining a program as if there's going to be one after the other. No, they are happening simultaneously. Our health, programs will be happening simultaneously as our infrastructure programs, as our anti-corruption programs, as our power sector program. That is why there's going to be a lot to do in Nigeria within 4 years. Our first 4 years, people are going to be busy. Second 4 years, people are going to be busy. But by the third year, the difference would have been clear. By third year,
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, I wanted to touch on the issue, bearing in mind that they're developing cars now that are obsolete in terms of using petrol. Um, but in Africa, we still have petrol, oil. The refineries, the issue of the refineries and the processing outside the country. I mean, did you hear about the one whereby they're trying to build a refinery between Nigeria and Niger? I mean, what are your thoughts on that? How can we stop this mess of us having to import processed refinery oil where we can do it in Nigeria? That's madness.
And that's what I said. Most Nigerian leaders don't care about Nigeria; they care about countries outside of Nigeria. I think Niger already has a refinery, and they don't even have oil. And I think they get their oil from Nigeria. What I
Yes.
heard is that President Buhari wants to accelerate a super highway between Nigeria and Niger, because that's where his personal interest lies.
Yes.
And this is why you have to vote him out before more damage is done.
Yeah.
We have to vote Buhari out of power so that Nigeria can reclaim its space. Nigerians can have their country back.
Yeah. Oh, well, he might join us. I mean, if we don't get to speak to him again, you can imagine we've had a really engaging discussion, covering so many issues. I hope you've been able to get as much information as possible. I'm going to try and add him again. I'll try one more time. So I will try and build this up. I'm hoping they can come back. I can't see him at the minute. No, I can't see him. I'm trying to add him. But as you know, the networks can be very difficult. I'm just trying to see if I can add him. So bear with me. Yep, I'm adding him back. I'll add him. He's back. Right, he'll be back in a minute. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, network problems. So yes, we were talking about Buhari and the refinery.
Hello. Yes, I said that Buhari is not representing Nigeria. Buhari is representing special interests to which he has had lifelong commitments. There's a sheikh in the north, Sheikh Gumi, who has always said that Buhari has so many baggage. Nigerians just not have anything to do with him, you know. And I hope people are listening to him. People are, you know, I don't want to waste my time talking about Buhari. I want to talk more about the future. And as you know, we're running out of time. You have made it impossible for me to do my early morning run this morning. Huh?
I do apologize.
I'm already set for it. You see my sneakers, everything, eh?
Yeah.
But you won't let me run.
Well done. No, listen, I think, honestly, there's no more. We could ask questions all day.
I'll be back on your show on a regular basis so that we can, you know, because I know more and more people are waking up and joining the show and asking questions. But I'm just saying, hey, if you just join us, it's great to see you. This is Sowore Omoyele, your candidate for president. No, not candidate, your aspirant for the position of, well, eventually your candidate. And we are here in Barcelona today. I'm on CitizenAY show. And you can see how interesting and lovely the streets are over here.
Yes.
These streets are being kept clean by our brothers and sisters who are in second slavery pretty much here. And we're saying we can create a country that can be as beautiful as this or even more beautiful, because our countries are already beautiful. We just need to, you know, put things in order, right? You know, look at those lush green vegetation you see in your neighborhood. The fact
it might be the network, and if it goes this time, I will let him go.
We will
go running.
You know,
okay, go on.
So somebody's asking about transportation. We just discussed a railway system that works. We just talked about waterways working again for us. We just talked about the road transportation networks, maritime sector, which is going to be a priority, airports that work for you. We also want to give you a Nigerian airline. What can be better than that? You know, so that you can get on a flight between here and London and be chopping amala, you know, apple,
absolutely,
and oha soup or draw soup.
Yes.
Or you can travel within the country, you know, and be able to get anywhere within a short time without paying through your nose, and be sure that, you know, the aircrafts are safe to travel, and our roads are safe. We have a lot to do together, people. And I know a lot of young people are raring to go. Those of you who are staying outside of the country, you want to go back home. I know you want to go back home. Let's go back home. Let's go take our country back and make it work for us in our lifetime. For those of us who are already in the 40s, we just have a few more years. Let's try and enjoy our country. Let's make our country work. And Nigeria cannot work with the old people. Nigeria cannot work with the Buhari who is happy to be in Morocco today, rather than being in Calabar. The man hasn't commissioned a single project since he came to power. They're just commissioning projects by propaganda. So let's take our country back. You can do it. We can do it. As you can see, we have bigger numbers than they do. We're more than that. We can do this, people. I'm pleading with you.
You can take it back.
You can take this country back, and you can take it back in a few months and have a completely different country. I'm pleading with you. It's something we must do. We must do this for ourselves. We must do it for our children. We must do it for unborn children and the generation to come. We must do it for Africa. We have to do this for the world. We have to do it for the black race.
Absolutely. Listen, final words before you leave, because I know you have to go for your marathon run. If any more final comments before you leave, we thank you very much. Just make some final comments before you leave.
I just again want to invite people to come tomorrow to June 12th event near Abiola's house. In and around Abiola's house will be there, and please do come. We want to see thousands and thousands of people. We want to show to them that we own June 12th and we own Nigeria and we're taking back our country. And for those of you who are out there who want to support us financially, you know how to do it. Go to GoFundMe. We also have bank accounts now in Nigeria that you can put in a little to support this. We don't have godfathers. We don't have money back to back us up. We are relying on people like you to make this happen. Just leave them to me. We'll do the debating. We'll do the campaigning with stamina, with intellect, with focus. That they cannot match. You see how they are stealing our ideas, but we have decided to be giving them ideas that they can't cope with. So let them steal, but get to a point where they can't even cope because they don't have the memory space. With their Nokia 3300 president. The operating system has maxed out.
It's crashed.
So I'll see you in Lagos tomorrow. Take it back, as please come to Lagos. Come to Abiola's house at the Keja. Starting from 9 a.m. in the morning, you see Sowore. And I'm going to start running now because it's time to just exercise a little.
Okay.
So you want to watch me?
Listen,
you want to watch me running until I lose you? No, don't worry. I'll turn to my other network. But thank you so much, CitizenAY. Thank you everybody who's been on this show. I see you there, Stephanie. I see you, Prince Ademola Ibrahim, Joker Sahid. I see you. I see you, Tawa. I see you, and I see you, Sebo Kawi. I see you, Lashlo Ladibolo, Samuel Dada, Olayiwola Akoni, MCJ Money, Mikele, Mickey Igwe, Temi Dayo, Olanisimi, Oloni Moyo, Mario Femi, Olufemi, Fumi Omojola, Sweetie Osasu, Faith Ogala, Emeka Francis Eke, John Henry GP, Kelly Benson Osayade, Rahim Gafari, Prince Edward Faborode, Omoni Jahil, Jacob Odion, Williams Paul, Evangelist Dista, Lashley, Testimonies Kai, Tuning the Cow. My goodness, I can keep going. I just want to greet everybody. Good morning and thank you. Have a fantastic day. Take it back. Take it back.
Have a good day. Bye now. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Have a good day. Bye. Talk later. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's been a real pleasure. I hope you've thoroughly enjoyed talking to our next president of Nigeria. Come February 16th, 2019. Mr. President himself, Mr. Omoyele Sowore. He is the man. You can see he's an active man. He's doing marathon. He was about to do the marathon, and he took the time to talk to us. And we asked as many questions as we could. If we carried on asking questions, he would not be able to do that run because he would just be answering questions. But I hope we've tried to put we've asked as many questions, and you get a measure of the man, his commitment to delivering a better Nigeria, and we must all be committed to this. We must all be committed to this. And I'm not talking about mouth commitment. I'm talking about the PVC kind of commitment. Make una get una PVC sharp sharp. Una get them? Get una PVC sharp sharp. Kia now. So if you get family for Nigeria, when they never collect their PVC, I beg, go tell them, make them collect them. Make them go queue today. Now. Make them collect them. Now. We get work to do. Now, people who are in diaspora, like I said, there's a GoFundMe. I am going to try and put the link on the page when I finish. I'll try and do it when I finish. Put the link for the GoFundMe on here. I think it's about $50,000 on there. We can do better than that. Diasporans, we can do better than that. Come on. If we all put, £5, $5, €5 each of us in diaspora, put it there. We need to take our country back. We won't take it back by mouth, like somebody said here. We will take it back by our actions. We will take it back by our actions. We can build a better Nigeria with Sowore as our man. He's the man. He's ready. He's putting himself on the line to take back, to build a better Nigeria. And we must get behind him. So I'm urging Nigerians, my fellow Nigerians, please do not just stand by the wayside. Now is the time for us to act. July 12th, tomorrow, they're marking Sowore's Day. What I want you all to do, people who are in Nigeria, if you can get down to Abiola's house in Lagos, if you're in Lagos, go there in mass, huge numbers. Make it a huge success. Send a message to the government now that we are coming for them and we are going to make sure that they lose power for good. Let's send that message to them. That's our role. And people who are in diaspora, we need to get behind Sowore. We must get behind him. We must support him. We must ensure that funding, we all pay little amount each. Little drops make a river. It does. And we can do this. It is not a question of, this is not mouth talking. This is, we can actually, this is a reality that we can do, that's possible for us to do. But we must get on board. If you are not on board, Sowore, take it back. You need to be on board. And not only that, tell your friends. If you go to parties, talk about Sowore. If you go if you're running, talk about Sowore. Wherever in your offices, talk about Sowore. In your home, talk about Sowore. Talk about take it back. Talk about you want to build a better Nigeria. That must be the topic on our mind every single day, 24/7. 24/7. You had the man. He came on here. He was about to run. He was about to do his marathon because he does that. And you heard the story about how he started running. So we must be inspired by what he said. We must motivate ourselves, not only ourselves, our friends and family, to build a better Nigeria. And how do we build it? We make sure that we put in Sowore. We vote him in. We get our PVC and we vote him in. And we vote him in and we support him. And we all work together for that better nation. Now, I am, like I said, the party he will be telling us the party that he will, in a couple of, maybe 2 to 3 weeks, we will hear something about the party. The party is going to join or create, I'm not quite sure. But the information is there. So all I am saying to you all now is, it's been a great pleasure having him on board. Please share this link as you're coming in. Talk to friends, family, have more discussions about it. There will be other times, I think it will still be back in Europe, and say, and do more, maybe more fundraising, town hall kind of thing. I'm not too sure yet. So, but, yeah. Okay, somebody said do a video about Sowore. Yeah, we will try. I will try and organize something. The thing is, there's already the people, this team are doing a video about him. So I'm not sure if that's going to add any value. I don't want. There's no point in doing something else that is being done for him. So I'm not too sure about that. But let's see. You never write anything off. You know, we can't. You don't. You know, you don't have to write. You can't write anything off. So, but I will look into it. What I'm saying, most of all Nigerians, yes, Abayomi Joseph Williams said Buhari must go back to his village in Daura. Exactly. And thanks, Emeka Francis AK. Angela. Okay, Angel, I send you friend. I'm the president of Nakara, largest refugees in Europe. Sicily, Nigerians are expecting to see you. Accept my request. Enable. Okay, somebody's talking to Sowore himself. Okay, I mean there are many questions here. He's not back in London. He probably is going to be in Scotland. It's 14th, 15th in Scotland. Edinburgh and Glasgow. So that's when it's going to be in Scotland. The party name that's being worked on. The party name is being worked on. So don't worry. The party, not the party name. They're going to create. You will get that in about 3 weeks' time. What's important now is tomorrow, June 12. Those who are in Nigeria, who are in Lagos, please. You're welcome, Angela AIB. Those who are in Lagos, please get down to Abiola's house tomorrow, June 12. So whatever will be there, there will be some sort of debate there. And there will be a commemoration of June 12 of Abiola. It's a way to invoke the spirit of Abiola, and you know, to keep him in our presence, in our minds, you know, because this is the man, a president that we never had. He's a president that rightfully we voted for, and the military men decided to hijack his mandate from him and from the rest of all of Nigerians. And that's why we are commemorating him. Forgive me, I'm sorry. I'm just a little bit hoarse now. I've been talking at length. So please get down there tomorrow. And let's keep supporting Sowore. Let's keep talking about people getting their PVC. And of course, morning Eunice. And of course, I want everybody, make sure on your phone, I've said it before, download, in Nigeria particularly, please, download the Constitution and put it on your phone. Start reading it. The Constitution is more important than your Bible or your Quran, because the Constitution contains your right. And if you know your right, I'm not saying you shouldn't go to church or Quran, but I'm saying knowing your right is more important than the Bible or the Quran. So I will post that link on here as well for you to use. I'm going to first put the GoFundMe for Sowore on here so people can actually share that. So it's on there. But I'm going to go again on top. Not only that, the Constitution. It's important you put it on your phone. And if anybody, any part of the first part of the Constitution I want you to read is Section 15.3a. Section 15.3a of the Nigerian Constitution. There you will know it states that the government should protect Nigerians and ensure that we have free movement of goods, services, and people. In effect, saying that the government should provide infrastructure, safety, and ensure that people in Nigeria can move around freely. That's not happening. That's why I am going on about the Constitution. So there's other parts of the Constitution that also tells us that where the House of Reps members and the Senators members are performing badly, we can vote them out. We can recall them. All of this is in our Constitution. And our rights are enshrined in the Constitution. And it is important that Nigerians begin to actually understand what that Constitution means and how they can use it to defend themselves when they are being unfairly treated by anybody in government or in the police. So I go on about that because it is so important. Sowore cannot do this job on his own. We will. I've just put the link for the Nigerian Constitution on there. Just download it. Put it on your phone. Tell your friends in Nigeria. Tell them to download it. Tell them to read it. Tell them to understand it. We must become our own lawyers. Because if we know our rights, then these guys will not cover our faces with lies. If we know our rights, these guys will not cover our faces with lies. And like I said, Sowore cannot do this job on his own. He will need all of us to get behind him, support him, and be totally committed to building a better Nigeria. Completely. In all ways. Focused on that. Something that the Bible and the Quran has prevented us from doing up to now. But now, we know Nigerians are waking up. We understand Nigerians are waking up and they want a better country. Nigerians don't want to be going to other to Europe or all these places or dying in the Mediterranean. They want to live in Nigeria. Nigeria has got everything that we ever need. Resources, sun, good weather, you name it. That country is blessed. Our country is blessed, and it is time we start using that blessing to bless our future generations by providing the infrastructure, the education, the amenities, the safety to allow them to grow, to make Nigeria a tourist destination. You heard me. We need to make Nigeria a tourist destination, a Mecca, if you like, or somewhere that people will be talking about and want to visit and marvel about. And there are a lot of sites. For example, the Benin Walls. That is a museum. Those are museums that we can create around those Benin Walls that were destroyed, the former kingdoms. That's one example. Simple. There's the Zaria. The buildings that we have that we can make it into tourist attractions. There are natural occurring waterfalls that we can actually make into tourist attractions in Nigeria. We have so much. To have 198 million Nigerians and all of them trying to focus on leaving the country instead of staying in the country is shameful. It is shameful. It is an indictment on our successive government for the last 58 years to have had this kind of governance that have failed Nigerians repeatedly. All they've done is taking our money. I'm talking in an angry manner. But the thing is, you have to have passion. You see, if you do not have passion for that country, you cannot build anything. And you can see when Sowore is talking, he's got passion. You see what I find impressive about Sowore is the controlled and that passion. He's turning it into positive action. He's pointing the way forward for us. That look, guys, stick with me, work with me. Come and build a nation. Come and build that nation. Come and do it. So yes. But see you later, Samuel. So. Come and build that nation with me. I can't do it alone. So we need governors, aspirants, young people committed to building a better Nigeria who will fight corruption tooth and nail, who will fight all of these looters, who will ensure that our judiciary is honest, pure, and there's none of these corrupt people in there who are taking the money in the back from taking bribe and corruption money to pervert the cause of justice. So, in closing, I just wanted to just say that it's been a real pleasure. This was unplanned. This happened suddenly in terms of talking to Mr. President. He will be our president come February 16, 2019. He will be. And we must all vote for him. We are going to take our country back. We are taking our country back. And President Sowore is going to be our leader. He will be our president. And we will need to support him. So, people, I beg you on your phone as I speak, download. It's on there. I've put in the link. Download the Nigerian Constitution. Share it among your family and friends. Let's know our rights. Let our people in Nigeria start knowing their rights. Tomorrow, I am going to be interviewing, let me just see. Who am I interviewing? Yes, Babatunde Alegbeleye. He's running for the Ekiti governorship. So, and I will be interviewing him tomorrow between 2 and 4. So I want you all to put that date in your diary. His name is Babatunde Alegbeleye. He is running for the Ekiti government and Ekiti governorship aspirant. He is. His name is Babatunde Alegbeleye. If you can join us and watch, that would be great. If you again post questions to him, very much like you post questions to Sowore now. Now I think I've forgotten the name of his party, but I'll put the link for the name of the party up as well. And that will be an interesting interview. So I want people to join us from that. And on Thursday, I'm interviewing Nigerians from Nigeria who are in Nigeria. I'll be getting calls from Nigerians in Nigeria talking about the Constitution. I've got a few people to download the Constitution on their phones, and I want to get their understanding of how they understand the Constitution in relation to themselves as a Nigerian, and how that makes them feel, knowing many Nigerians don't know the Constitution or understand their rights as laid down in the Constitution. So I'm trying to have that discussion with people on Thursday. It's called Thursday Talks with CitizenAY. So I'll be and also Samson Akinola will be joining us on Thursday with this discussion. So I will be taking calls. There's a phone number already on my page. And on there's a number people can call in from Nigeria, and we will take calls about the Constitution. So please download that Constitution, read it. Read it. It is more important. I will keep saying it. It is more important than your Bible. It's not perfect. And the good thing about it is when you read it and you know the failings within it, we can all collectively say we want to change it because X, Y, and Z of the Constitution is not working. So this is why I'm saying what I'm saying now. So, yes, he will announce his political party. How about Daniel? He will. He will. He said so. He will be doing it in the next 3 weeks. He will be addressing that. Yeah, you know, exactly. Smith Sunday said, my only concern is to take these old fools over 70 years old out of our presidential election. We cannot be allowing all these old criminals to rule us anymore. Please let us stand and move with a good young candidate to build our country. Yeah, exactly. That means take it back. We are saying take it back, and we will. You know, we are taking it back. Greatest Nigerian people. Let me hear you say greatest. Greatest Nigerian people. Greatest. Greatest Nigerian people. Greatest. That's it. That's what we need to do. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. We shall always fight for our rights. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. We shall always fight for our rights. That's what we need. We need that spirit. In closing, as I'm saying that, I want you all to think of Nigeria as the place of your fathers, your mothers, your relatives. We always send money home. We are the ones funding this government. They are looting the money and we are funding, and it's enough. We cannot keep doing that. It's unsustainable. It is unsustainable for people in diaspora to be sending money home to these people and they just loot the money. And they sit there and they stand trying to tell us that they are high and mighty. And all they're doing is taking the money from the people and denying people the right of enjoying the huge riches, and the benefits of being in a warm climate, a lovely, comfortable place that can be a tourist attraction. So Nigerians, we owe it to ourselves, particularly in diaspora, to get behind Sowore, support him, put some funds in money in his GoFundMe as we speak. £5, $5, €5, whatever you can put it in. Some people are doing so. We need more. We need your support. He needs $2 million, he said. And I think if we can give him more than that, even better, because he will need the financial, and we don't need the money from these looters. We don't want any of the looted money. What will happen is when Sowore comes in, all that money is coming back into Nigerian coffers. That's what we're going to do. Because we will ensure that the judiciary is swept clean of all of these looters. It's swept clean of the looters. And all of them will have to account for where they stole the money. All of them. And that money will be taken back. I mean, recently they said that they got a governor jailed. And yet, they've not even asked for, is it Inyake or something, that he's going to be jailed for 10 years, something like that. But they've not confiscated any of the proceeds of what is told. That should be part of the judgment. It should be there. It shouldn't be an assumption. It should be something in black and white, so that if anybody says something about it, we have it in black and white that his property is being confiscated. That's what I mean by when you have a justice that's skewed and unfair, that is being used to prosecute people that are supposed to be supported, to prevent Nigerians from having infrastructure. 58 years of failure. That's what we faced with. And another thing I like to say, Nigerians, we're very good at, President Sowore said it, and I call him president because he will be come February 16, 2019. He will be. We need to start thinking about our health as Nigerians. What we eat, how we, exercise. We need that. Many Nigerians are dropping dead around the age of 50. I've lost count of people that I've heard of, close friends have told me about, that have just dropped dead. Mr. President, our president to be, Mr. Omoyele Sowore, is our next president, come February 16, 2019. He's leading us by example. He goes on a marathon run. He runs, keeping fit. That's the example that we must all adopt. I go swimming. I have a health issue. I've got a chronic pain for life. And this is not, don't worry about feeling sorry for me about that. That's not the point. That's happened. But I go swimming. I do swimming. I do 1,080 meters 3 days a week because it helps with my chronic pain. And I go sauna and I do hydrotherapy. Those are the kind of things we need to be doing in our society. We need to follow the example laid down by our incoming President Sowore come February 16, 2019. He's leading by example. We must follow that example. We must start thinking about our health, our longevity, our building our infrastructure, how to build that nation. So, listen, I thank you all. I could talk on for a long time. Yes, someone said, yes, hey, how about Daniel? Yeah, you know, I could talk on. Please, most of all, tell your friends and family to go and get their PVC. Get your PVC. People in the South, you heard President Sowore saying it. He said a lot of people in the South are getting their PVC, perhaps more than ever before. But still, we don't even rest on our laurels as far as that's concerned. As far as I'm concerned, I'm asking everybody, please tell your friends, family, get your PVC. Because we are coming to what? We are coming to take it back. We are coming to what? We are coming to take it back. 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 Listen, thank you all very much. It's been a real pleasure. Please continue to share this post and tell your friends. And like I said, you've heard it from President himself. He will be joining us on CitizenAY page in future. And when it does, I will let you know. And we will keep you updated. So, listen, thank you very much. Have a lovely afternoon, a lovely Monday, and a pleasant rest of the week as well. And we'll be in touch. Take it back. See ya. Bye.